How to use the tools on the edit page in Davinci Resolve 18. The first one is called Trim Edit Mode, and you find it up here. You can either press on it or press T and it will activate it. So with the Trim Edit Mode, you can trim your stuff a bit like this. Just kind of try it out, but with like all the different ways of cutting. It will just do it a bit different onto your clip. It can be a useful way to trim things. And if you want to go back to your cursor, you just either press on that bit there or you just press A. The next tool is called Dynamic Trim Mode. So it's right here. Either press W to activate it or just press on it. And it makes your playhead, which is usually red, it turns to yellow. And if you hold on to J and move, it moves your clip like this, and well, my other one's just got completely destroyed. But to undo that, you can press Ctrl Z. The next tool is called Blade Edit Mode. You either just press on it or press B to activate it. And what it does is, when you go into your clip, it looks like this, and then when you press on it, it cuts the bit that you don't want, but you do have to delete it afterwards yourself manually. So now that we have like the cutting clips bit done, the next bit we're going to look at is the clips, so like replacing, inserting, that kind of thing. And the first one that we're going to look at is called Insert Clip. So in the media pool, if you press on the clip that you want, I just picked the first one that I saw on my files, and then you either press F9 or Insert Clip. That will insert the clip depending on where your playhead is. So if I do it here, then press F9, it will insert it there. But because I did it in the middle, it's inserted into the middle of my clip. And if you want to, and if you don't want it, just press backspace again. So next we have Overwrite Clip. And if you press on the clip that you want to use, I'm just going to keep it as the same one. And then if you press F10, it will like kind of overwrite, so it won't. With like Insert Clip, it moved this one out of the way for then this one to come in, but it doesn't for this one. It just clashes with the clip. So the next thing we have is called Replace Clip, and if you press on the clip that you want and press on this one here and then press F11, it replaces that bit here. The next tool is called Snapping, and if you press N to deactivate and activate it. But when it's activated, you can see when you slam into a clip, it's got that like grey line kind of stopping you from going into it like that. But when you turn it off, it just doesn't have that. So if you're doing things like cutting a clip really close to another one, let's say you want to cut it there, it's a lot easier to do compared to when you have it on, because it will just put it in the middle. Next tool is called Linked Selection. But if you either press on it or press Ctrl, Shift and L at the same time, that will deactivate or activate it. When it's activated, your two clips here, so I got like an audio one and a clip one, they will stay together and move up and down the same. But when you turn that off and then you press on it, you could do it separately. So I could move this clip wherever I want. So with like the audio, I could move it to here instead. But then if you press it again, it will just, if I press it like this, that it will just stay back connected as normal. So you'd probably want it to be all together. So position lock, if you press on that, that just locks your timeline. So you just can't move it at all. Here we have flags and markers, and I'm just going to go over the markers as they're going to be like the more important, or the one that I think that you'll use a bit more. So with markers, if you have your playhead where you want it to be, so I'm going to put it there, and you either press on it or you press M, that will activate a marker here, and I can name it Hi, and you can add any notes like cheese or something, you know, and there's like a keyword, but you could set a duration for it. So I could have it 20 long, and then it can expand for as long as you want, whether you just put in like 2 seconds or 5 seconds or just like 10 minutes, you can change it for how long you want. Here you have the last four, I'm gonna say. So you have full extent zoom, which just zooms it in, and then you have detailed zoom, which zooms in particularly on where your playhead is. Then you have custom zoom, which just zooms it out. And then you have zoom out and zoom in. So if you press it, you could zoom it out or zoom it in how you want. Usually I just keep it on default most of the time. But if I'm doing something like cutting a particular bit, or if I'm like using text sometimes, then I'd zoom it in a little bit more. And if you're interested, I have a video here which is how to use keyboard shortcuts for beginners in Davinci Resolve 18.